What
So
is
let us not waste our time and others, and we welcome Ms. Agata. She is a transformation and a neuroscience coach. She has a background in education and science as well. She teaches, she trains, she gives one-on-one coaching sessions as well. She has lead self-care courses and power within book circles. Her tagline is, I inspired awakening and unlock your superpowers through nurturing conversations and assisting you in creating transformation solutions. So she has given her website to followers www.agataz.com. Here we welcome Agata.
Hello, welcome everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you very much for organizing this thing and for coordinating it. And I'm so impressed with your organization and how many people are involved and all this, how it flows amazingly. So thank you very much and welcome to my session. And thank you, my previous speakers. They were actually talking about similar things that I'm going to talk about. It's all about the mindset and some superpowers that are related to our mindset. And so my session will be actually focusing on one thing, which is the inner core beliefs that often stop us from achieving our goals and achieving our full potential. My name is Agata. Thank you for the great introduction, and I am based in the UAE, Alain, so it's very early here. I'm not used to waking up so early, so it was quite a challenge, I must say. So, but it's like following our previous speaker's advice: get up early, get your routine. So maybe I'll start waking up early. Okay, let me share my screen. 1 second. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
I assume you can.
Yes.
All right, so the session is how to access your superpowers to achieve your full potential. Okay, so what are the superpowers we have? We are amazing creatures. We are amazing creatures. Human beings are just amazing. We have the superpowers on all levels: physical level, mental level, emotional level, spiritual level. On the physical level, it's just amazing to realize that we have the whole pharmacy in us. Our body can produce chemicals. Our body can produce hormones. There is some talk in the literature about angel's cocktail and about devil's cocktail. So the angel's cocktail are all these hormones: dopamine, oxytocin, endorphin, which are actually responsible for our well-being. And these hormones actually affect our thought process and affect our physical body. There is a talk about devil's cocktail as well, and they are adrenaline and cortisol, the stress hormones, which actually also affect our health. So I don't know if you heard about telomeres and about epigenetic. It's the study about genetics that proves that our genes actually do not determine our life, because we can actually affect our genes by the environment and lifestyle that we live. And telomeres are actually the endings of our DNA. And if our telomeres get a bit longer, it means that we're going to live longer. So there has been all these amazing studies in medicine, in medical field, and in mental health field that actually prove that we are amazing. We are amazing. We can heal ourselves, and with the right mindset, with the right goals, and kind of everyday thing that we do, we can actually affect our bodies. So so this is the physical. Of course, mental, it's the mindset, the mental level is the mindset, are the thoughts and subconscious and conscious mind. Our thoughts affect our feelings affect the secretion of the hormones and chemicals in our body. So of course, all these systems work together. There's also emotional level, where we have feelings that are triggered by situations, by places, and the emotions are related to thought patterns as well that are stored in our subconscious mind. So we can evolve, change, and heal throughout our life to achieve full potential and go beyond whatever doesn't serve us. So, okay. So I'm going to talk today about our subconscious and conscious mind and how they interact together, and how our conscious mind can affect our subconscious mind and the other way around. So let me start with this quote here from Crystal Dilworth. She is a medical doctor, and she's a neuroscientist and a physicist as well. And she said that we are more emotionally susceptible to the experiences we had early on in life because of the way our brain develops than later in life. So it's important to realize that we don't actually see things as they are, but we see things as we are. Okay, right. Okay, just went too far here. All right, so okay, so limiting beliefs, what are they and why we have them and where do they come from? So let me start with the concept of the set of core beliefs. What are the core beliefs that we all have and that are stored in our subconscious mind? So core beliefs are the set of beliefs that are actually developed usually early in life, from the time we are born until the age of 7. And they are based on our experiences. They are based on on things that we hear, the feelings, the emotions that different situations evoke. And based on this, we develop a set of core beliefs. Some of them can be empowering beliefs. Some of them can be limiting beliefs, the inner beliefs that limit us from achieving our full potential. It's important to know that, as I mentioned before, that how we experience things and how these early experiences actually affect our life is actually linked to the way our brain develops. So let me just give you a very quick introduction to the way, actually it's very simplified version, but it can give us an idea how things work in our mind. So, okay, so there are like 3, as I say, it's very simplified version, like 3, we could say, different parts of the brain. So the oldest one is the reptilian brain, which is based here at the bottom of our, you could say, the bottom of our head from the back. And this is responsible for our bodily functions, and it's the oldest part. Then we've got the limbic brain, the mammalian brain, which is responsible for our emotions, our memory, and it's quite old as well. And the newest part, the part that's developed in the latest few thousand, or well, it's more than a few thousand, hundreds of thousands of years. And this is a prefrontal cortex, and this is actually what we often call a conscious mind. So this is responsible for our decision making, for self-control, for planning, and things like that. Okay, so so this is the new this prefrontal cortex again, and it's actually situated here, like above our forehead, we could say, and here in front of our brain. And this is what makes us humans, actually, and it can be a friend or a foe. Yeah, and it's of course in very close relationship with our subconscious mind, which we could say it's this limbic system, these old parts of the brain, and the reptilian brain. So we often say that in our reptilian brain, it's this fight or flight response that is often born. Okay, so all right, so we talked about the core beliefs, and we talked about the reptilian brain, mammalian brain, and prefrontal cortex. Okay, so thinking patterns and behavior. Right, so it will be interesting to know. I must say I was very surprised when I learned this, that our subconscious mind is actually responsible for 90 to 95 and even 97.5, I read recently, for our behavioral patterns, and it is automatic. So basically, based on our experiences, mostly in childhood, as I mentioned, up to the age of 7, we actually run on this automatic pilot, and we have these automatic responses to life that we don't even realize. And we often say that our body is actually the expression of our subconscious mind. And we say that body is actually a servant to their subconscious. So these empowering beliefs and these limiting beliefs that often hold us back from achieving our dreams, they are very often stored, actually they not very often, they are always stored in the subconscious mind. So, so the actual point how to overcome these limiting beliefs is to connect our conscious mind with our subconscious mind. So this is the trick. Okay, so very often this reptilian brain, it actually protects us. So our mindset, our brain is actually very interesting and amazing, again, amazing superpower that we have, and we can actually use it to be our servant, or we can just give into it and we can let it run our life. So very often the reptilian brain protects us because the brain wants us to survive. So these limiting beliefs that come up, they actually, it's actually something good that our brain wants to tell us. But very often on the practical level, on our life level, in terms of achieving our goals, it acts as something that is stopping us and that is limiting us. So on the contrary, the conscious mind, which is this prefrontal cortex, actually, it can act as recognizing all these behaviors and what trigger these behaviors, these emotions, the negative emotions that sometimes come up in different situations. Maybe it will be fear, maybe it will be guilt, Maybe it will be some of these negative feelings that will actually stop us from doing what we want to do. We might want to lose weight, and then we say, oh, I lost some weight, but now I got back to my old ways. I don't know, I don't have enough willpower. So this will be our subconscious patterns, our limiting beliefs. So I will tell you today, I will actually present to you very quick 3-step, very simple. It's not quick actually, but it's very simple 3-step strategy to overcome and to be more aware of our self-limiting beliefs. Okay, so let's have a look at some symptoms of limiting beliefs. So what could they be? All right, so sometimes we feel that, yes, we want to achieve something, but we are not happy with ourselves. We have anxiety. Sometimes we can have panic attacks. We worry excessively. Sometimes we can be self-conscious. Oh, I'm too fat. I cannot present. I cannot show the people. I cannot show myself on stage because maybe I'm too fat. Maybe I don't look well. What will other people think of me? There very often there is fear, and there is thinking, oh, I cannot do it because of different things. Maybe I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I often struggle with time as well. And I don't have enough knowledge to do something I would love to do. But we sometimes put off things because of these being self-conscious and these thoughts that come up in our mind. Sometimes we think, oh, it's not for me. Other people can do it, but I cannot do it because of something. There would be self-doubting yourself, and it can also manifest itself on physical level. You might have shaky hands. You might be feeling sweaty. You might be feeling hot, nervous. Sometimes it's like even feeling nauseous. And another thing could be overeating, or like smoking, or other addictions like alcohol addiction. So I would like to introduce you here to a map of consciousness levels. And it's been designed by a psychiatrist, very prominent name, David Hawkins. Is a wonderful guy. I really recommend his books. He wrote quite a few books. He passed away, unfortunately, but he left a great legacy. So he designed, and he was talking about this consciousness level map, and about frequency, vibrational frequency. On the left side, you could see the frequency here. So all these feelings which are under courage, if you ever experience these feelings, then note this down, because these could be related to your limiting beliefs coming up, your inner beliefs that hold you back. So these negative feelings could be pride, anger, desire, fear, grief, apathy, guilt, or shame. These are just some examples. And then once you get the courage, and which is the vibrational frequency of 200, this is where your power appears. The courage, this is the level of empowerment. This is when the life gets exciting. So often lots of authors and scientists, they talk about quantum gap, and this would be this neutrality level. So this would be this quantum gap when anything is possible. This would be getting into this mindset where we experience these feelings of willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, and peace and enlightenment, which this would be people who are in the Zen state, people who meditate a lot. This will be the prophets, the saints in different cultures, right? but we can all experience these feelings, and they can all empower us. So, okay, so back to these limiting beliefs. So these limiting beliefs, we might not even be aware of them. We might try to combat them. We might try to resist them, but it's good to acknowledge them actually and make a note of when they actually come. So, and this would be when we link our conscious mind with our subconscious mind. So with what we can do with our conscious mind, we can get aware of what is happening. We can get the steam out. We open up, I can hear the bell. I should be finishing soon, I think. Thank you. So let me just go quickly to these 3 simple steps here, GEC. So first we gain awareness. We take a note of places, people, situations, what you hear, and recognize and keep a note each time. We can use the EMDR technique, which is the emotional desensitizing technique with our eyes. And then we can examine and befriend this feeling, actually. Examine the situation, examine the feeling when it comes, open up, reach out to people, share it with others, use your journal, meditate on it. And then we can challenge these feelings, which means we can replace them with other feelings. So for example, if we feel we are unworthy, then we can, after recognizing what triggers the situation, what is the place, what is the time, what is something, what was something that someone told us that triggered it, and noting it out in a journal, we can think about it, think when it came from, also note it down in a journal, meditate on it, and then we can challenge it. So if we think we are unworthy, we can, with our conscious mind, think why we are worthy and note it down in a journal. I have to emphasize here, like some previous speakers did, that journaling is an amazing tool. So writing down with your hand, using your hand and paper, which actually connects our senses. So it's very good and it's very important. If we feel, for example, unloved, we think of 3 persons that love us and we write them down. So gaining awareness, examining and befriending the feelings, don't resist them, because then we can push them at the back and it can have the opposite effect. If we try to replace them by force, by positive feelings, we have to befriend them. We have to thank these feelings because they were protecting us at some time in the past, but they are not longer serving us. So let's remember this technique, very simple 3 steps. Another thing, it could be visualizing, very powerful tool. So this would be, again, in maybe in the 3rd step, when we challenge ourselves. So when we want to change these negative beliefs, we can use vision boards. And this is very, very powerful tool, vision boards, because they make us think about what we really want. So we get clarity on our goals and help us get unstuck. They act as daily reminder. We can connect emotionally with our goals. We get motivation to get into action, and they are fun to create, and they act as to help the law of attraction. Yes, so we have to remember that we get out what we put in, and so strategy and action are very important, and we will use our conscious mind for that. Okay, so here, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to present this little chunk on limiting beliefs. These are a few things that I do. I do one-on-one consultations. And I am on my website. You can find all the information on my website. I do power within circles. I do book circles with the book Power Within, and I have courses on building your power within, like self-care courses. I do stress management, pain management, and I use neuroscience techniques for this. So thank you very much for that. And thank you for giving me this amazing opportunity to present this little chunk of the mindset. Okay, so thanks a lot. Thank you to all the coordinators. Thank you to all the organizers. I cannot remember all the names, but you're all wonderful. And thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Thanks for being with us here today. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
so
a
much
lot.
for the session. Yes. That was
Yes, Sonia. What next?
Every session has been enlightening, and every session is complementing each other, and
Yes, it's
there-
igniting
yeah, and
the spirit in amongst others.
yes, yes.